What's up, Soul Family and everyone out there in the world? This is Moonology Detail, and this is going to be a general reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Saturn for the second half of the Sun transition the sign of Sagittarius. Now, I'm going through Pisces through Aries in the second half. So, now that we're on Aquarius, so it's going to be Pisces and then Aquarius and then so forth. With that being said, let's talk about what the Sun represents and what it represents being in Sagittarius. So the Sun is, of course, our actions, our viewpoints, how we see the world around us, as well as correlates to our wants, and it is going to be in the energies of Sagittarius, which is mutable fire, being mutable and adaptable to your own and other people's ways of seeing and feeling the emotions. And Sagittarius itself was born at the 9th house of higher education, higher knowledge, wisdom, and long distance travel, both externally and internally. So, moving on to Aquarius, since you guys are Aquarius. Aquarius is fixed air, which is being fixated on its own ways of thinking and communicating, and Aquarius was born out of the 11th house of how you're seen in the public arena and people, places, and things that you associate yourself with. So, with that being said, Aquarius, you are sextile in this energy, so you're going to have opportunities to see things and feel things in a more mutable way when it comes to your fixated air energies. So instead of being so fixated, you're able to have opportunities to see things in a mutable way when it comes to seeing and feeling the emotions. Now, I'm going to pull 9 cards plus an overall from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck, and then move on to the Waite deck for clarifications, and then move to the Moonology Oracle deck to see what Mother Moon has to say to you through me to end the reading off. Now, let me shuffle this deck one more time, and we will begin. So the overall energy of the reading is the 8 of Cups, so you're walking away from something emotionally during this time. Now, for the first card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the 5 of Pentacles, so I feel like you feel alone in the situation or circumstance that you're in, but keep in mind that the woman, women in the tarot represents emotions, the mountains represent obstacles, and this moon up here represents listening to your intuition. So if you can align your emotions to your intuition, you'll have a better time handling this feeling of aloneness moving forward during the first half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, with the second card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the 9 of Wands. So I have a sense of you dealing with negative visions, coming in the form, well, negative thoughts and feelings coming in the form of visions. Do not let these visions get the best of you. Alright, do your best to create higher perspectives and positive thoughts and feelings about these visions that are maybe sending influences to you, but do not act on these influences, or do your best to not act on these influences. Instead, like I said, create higher perspectives and create and agree with positive thoughts and feelings to transmute these negative visions into positivity. Now, with the third card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the 9 of Wands. So I feel like you are passionately going after something that you want and desire very much so during this time. But this is also a card of warning to not be overbearing to others during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, your fourth card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the 4 of Pentacles. So I feel like you are holding on to something very, very tightly. Maybe too tightly, depends on what this is. We'll clarify this when we get to it, but you are holding on to something during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, your fifth card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Star card, which is Aquarius energy. So you can deal with Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Saturn, or have Aquarius in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. But you are focusing on healing, being optimistic, and bringing wish fulfillments into fruition into your life with the Star card showing up. Alright, and it might involve you leaving something behind emotionally, since the overall is the 8 of Cups, or temporary. Now, with the 6th card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Tower card, which is Scorpio energy. So you can be dealing with the Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mars, or have Scorpio in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. But there is a Tower moment happening for you drastic change, but keep in mind that the Star card does come after the Star Tower, so focus on healing and being optimistic when the Tower comes. Alright, so there is a Tower moment coming, whether that be positive or negative, it just means drastic change. So, with the Queen of, with the 7th card for Universal Celtic Tarot deck you get is the Queen of Swords. So you are standing in your truth, being self-aware and giving sound advice to those that you feel like you need to, more likely for them to come to you and you're giving sound advice to them. But you are standing in your truth and being independent during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius with the Queen of Swords coming out. Now with the 8th card for the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Ace of Pentacles. So there is a brand new material opportunity in the material world. So if this opportunity is for the betterment of your well-being, your highest good, take this opportunity and put energy work into this opportunity, especially if it's for the betterment of your well-being, your highest good, moving forward during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now your last card, but definitely not least, from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Knight of Swords. So not only are you moving passionately towards what you want and desire with the Knight of Wands, so like I said, with the Knight of Swords, you are communicating and taking action over what you want and desire during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. So, just do your best to not be overbearing to others while doing so. Now, let's move on to clarifications. Starting off with the overall, but let's summarize. You are emotionally moving away from something, either indefinitely or temporarily. There are changes happening in your life. You must not let these drastic changes and these visions that are negative affect you in a negative way. Like I said, you don't let these negative visions get the best of you. Do your best to follow your intuition. Whatever this Four of Pentacles is, when we clarify this, we'll get more information about that. But make sure that whatever you're holding on to really tightly isn't damaging you in a negative way. Alright? Focus on healing. Focus on being optimistic. Again, with these drastic changes, it could be positive or negative, or whatever the case may be. Do your best to embrace whatever happens and embrace the unknown. Focus on healing if it is negative. With the Queen of Swords, keep standing in your truth, being self-aware. With the Ace of Pentacles, there is a material opportunity for you, and if it's for the betterment of your well-being, your highest good, take it, put energy, work into this opportunity. And with the Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords being here, you are passionately going after what you want and desire and communicating and taking action on it. With these, with the Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands being here. So let's move on to clarifications, starting off with the overall. And the overall is clarified with being the Eight of Cups is clarified by the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is talking about work, possibly a collaboration, but you are leaving something behind emotionally, either temporary or indefinitely, in order to get this work done or to get this collaboration started for yourself during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now with the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles is clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. So there is something that you're working on, moving methodically, slowly, and being very practical about what you got going on for yourself. So like I said, you are moving methodically and practically towards what you want to desire. Just do your best to embrace your intuition when it comes to doing things by yourself, because I feel like you're moving by yourself with whatever you got going on for you during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Sagittarius. Now with the Nine of Wands is clarified by the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is a feeling of leaving something behind emotionally. You're focusing on what you no longer have instead of focusing on what you do have in your life during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Sagittarius, which is where these negative visions are coming from. So symbolically speaking, turn this man around, turn your thoughts around, and focus on what you do have in your life during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Sagittarius. Now with the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Wands is clarified by the World card, which is Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus energy. So this is your energy. So you are standing in your power, but you could have Aquarius somewhere else in your chart, or be dealing with Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Saturn, a Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mars, or have one of these energies or Aquarius somewhere else in your chart, And if so, these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. But there is a completion and a karmic cycle being completed when you passionately go and when you act and be passionate about what you're going. When you passionately go after what you want and desire during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius, there will be a karmic cycle being completed for you when doing so. Now, with the Four of Pentacles is clarified by the Justice card. So the Justice card is Libra energy. So you begin with the Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or have Libra in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Or whatever you are holding on to, you're holding on to because you want to be balanced. You want this equilibrium, equal give and take, this harmony, this resolution. You might be holding on to a job or holding on to some type of scheduling, and you don't want to cause unbalance. But if it's for the betterment of your well-being, your highest good, do your best to let go. Alright? Even if it means to move to another job or whatever, because the Justice card is clarifying the Four of Pentacles, so you're holding on to something too tight in the sake of balance and harmony. So be sure to think about yourself and your well-being, but if it's for the betterment of well-being, your highest good, continue to hold on to whatever it is, but don't hold on to it for just the sake of other people. Do it for yourself during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now with the Star card is clarified by the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles is talking about you having everything that you want and need in the material world and being very successful with what you got going on. I feel like you've worked really hard to get where you are, and this is helping you heal and focus on being optimistic and focusing on bettering your future, especially when it comes to this work that you're working on, which is brought you to a successful place and you having everything that you want and need in the material world as well. Now let's move on to the Tower card, which the Tower is clarified by the Star card, which is Aquarius energy. So you can begin with an Aquarius, you are an Aquarius, so this is you standing in your power once again. Now with the Star card clarifying the Tower card, you are focusing on healing and being optimistic when it comes to these drastic changes that are going on in your life during the second half of the sun, just in the sign of Sagittarius. Just do your best to create higher perspectives and positive thoughts and feelings moving forward when it comes to this healing process going through, or this sense of wanting to be optimistic when it comes to these drastic changes for yourself. Now with the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords is clarified by the Queen of Wands. Pardon the noise. So with the Queen of Wands clarifying the Queen of Swords, by you being passionate and independent during this time, you are standing in your truth. So this is a very big independent energy. You're not only being self-aware, but you're being very passionate about what you want and desire in your life, without caring about other thoughts and feelings. Not necessarily caring about them, but not caring about those thoughts and feelings about what you got going on for yourself. You're just doing you and moving along during the second half of the sun, just in the sign of Sagittarius. Now with the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles is clarified by the Ace of Wands. So this is a new passionate idea, which is giving birth to a new material opportunity. So this is really good. So this opportunity is coming from a spark of a new passion idea for yourself. Now moving on to the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is clarified by the Emperor card, which is Aries energy. So you could begin with an Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mars, or have Aries in your chart, and so these energies will be. So like I said, with the Emperor card clarifying the Knight of Swords, the Emperor is Aries energy. So you can begin with an Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mars, or have Aries in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now you are taking power and control of your life, and you're doing that by going after what you want and desire in your life and communicating and taking action on what you want and desire moving forward during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now let's move on to the Moonology Oracle deck. Let's see what Mother Moon has to say to you through me to end the reading off. Now, let's pull 3 cards out and let's see what you guys got going on for you when it comes to the Moonology Oracle deck. Now your first card from Mother Moon to you through me is New Moon in Gemini. Communication is key. So communicating and communication is key during this time. So whether that be with this new opportunity, your life in general, when it comes to this collaboration, whatever the case may be, there is communication that is needed during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now your second card for Mother Moon to you through me is full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. So the answers you need are coming to you, and as long as you have patience during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. So if you're looking for answers about anything, know that the answers are on the way. With the full moon in Gemini, the answers you need are coming. Now your third card for Mother Moon to you through me is full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release the negativity. So with the Five of Cups and with this Five of Cups energy and this Five of Pentacles energy, it's time to release the negativity. Listen to your intuition and focus on what you do have in your life during this time. Don't let the negativity get the best of you, but like the card says, it's time to release said negativity during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Sagittarius. Now with that being said, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Saturn, that'll be all for your general reading. I hope this helped or this brought clarity or aided you in any way. Shout out to the whole Soul family. Shout out to Dolo the Pilot Man. Y'all be blessed. Remember that you'll never be less. Y'all take care and peace.